Good morning. It's 6 o'clock or so here in New Zealand, and it is absolutely bloody freezing. But before we get into it, I just pulled up at the beach and I saw this. I don't know if you can see that, but man, I don't mind people lighting fires at the beach, but if you're gonna do it, put it out properly. And look, this, man, just cans. People being here on the piss, lighting fires. I don't mind people doing that, but just clean up after yourself, hey? Like, it's not what I want to see when I come to the beach in the morning, so yeah. Clean up after yourself, put your fires out properly, and won't have any problems. Okay, so I just spent 10 minutes cleaning up after whoever was kind enough to leave in that mess this morning. But anyway, back to the real thing now. So, plan is, we're going to push out deep to the 20-25 metre mark and drop a big burly, see if we can get one last snap for the season. We've just had our second big cold snap here in Nelson, so chilling down pretty quick, and it'd be good to get one last snapper session in before they go deep for the winter. So that's the plan today. But anyway, as we're heading out, I'm going to chuck the old spinner out the back and see if we can land us some fresh bait on the way out there. Leave that to do its thing. So as I was rigging up late last night, I sort of had a thought to myself, what happens if I drop the paddle over the side while I'm out here? Like, that's my only means of propulsion. So I don't actually have a leash on my paddle at the moment, so I will get one. But it was too late to go and get one last night, so just tied up a bit of rope just in case. You know, you want to sort of take every precaution you can out there, especially when you're out that far. Yeah, so there's ways around these things. You don't always have to go spending money if you don't want to. Man, look at that moon and those colours on the horizon. It is a big moon today, so people say the fishing is average on full moons. We'll see how we go. The current is absolutely ripping through here at the moment, so it's going to get a bit sloppy. I'm going to get a bit wet. That's all good. Yeah, so big tides equal strong currents, and places like this, headlands and stuff like that, it just absolutely rips through, so I'm fine, it's all good. Got it under control. Just get out the other side of this and probably drop anchor somewhere on the other side, because fish love that current. I don't want to sit in it, I'll just sit to the side of it, pump a big burly trail out, and that current will sort of disperse that burly further, and it will have an effect over a wider range. So use that to my advantage. So we're about 5 minutes away, nearly there. Woo! So I'm still paddling, haven't quite got there yet, but just taking a bit of a break and admiring the sunrise over there. I encourage people at home to do this sort of thing though, eh? Like, you just don't make memories like this lying around in bed at home. Like, most people will still be asleep or waking up for a coffee, and by the time they've had a coffee and read the morning news, you're already back from fishing. And they've missed out on that opportunity just because they haven't felt the need, or they haven't been motivated to get up in the morning. But that's my view on it anyway, and as I've always said, I'll sleep when I'm dead. A little trick I use is set your alarm to the loudest volume it possibly can and choose the most annoying ringtone, and then by the time you get such a fright, by the time you get up and out of bed, you're awake. So try that one, it works. And my missus hates it for that reason, because it works, it wakes her up too. So I just pulled up to my spot, dropped the anchor down. So I've dropped the anchor down and tied it off at the back with the burly about 5 meters up from the anchor chain, and so that way we're hanging back this way with the current. The anchor's back there, the burly's back there, so the burly's pumping this way, and we're dropping our lines there. So the burly's sort of drifting that way, and we're dropping our lines in that burly trail, hopefully. So we're just going to sit here and wait, let that burly do its thing. We got our first fish in the morning. It's a spiny dog. So these guys can be absolute pricks of things because they're just here in plague numbers in Tasman Bay, but that's just because this is their nursery, this is their breeding ground, so this is their home. They do have these nasty spines just above the dorsal fin. You don't want to cop one of those, and on the back you do not want to cop one of those. They're nasty, full of bacteria, infected. These are actually sharks, so they're pretty cool. I'll get them back in the water. There he goes. This is what we call a grey boy, school shark, beautiful eating. We sell these, we call it flake in the fish and chip shops, I think. But I'm gonna let this guy go. Kayak fishing is a struggle. Getting fish to the boat, landing it, it's definitely an art to learn. I haven't learned that art yet. But yeah, we'll get back into it. There we go. Yeah, gurnard. Beautiful. Yeah. But look at that. Those colours are absolutely amazing. And these guys make for beautiful eating. So I'm happy I've got something to eat. For those who don't know, this is a gurnard. I'll just give you a close-up of the colours because they're absolutely stunning. So that's a gurnard, or a carrot, because they sort of resemble a carrot. And so these guys sit on the bottom, and they walk around in these little hands, these little fingers here. So they actually walk along the bottom with those. And this shovel head, this shovel nose, they walk around and just sort of flick stuff up and try and flick up little crabs and little crustaceans that sort of live in the mud, and that's what they feed on. As you can probably hear, if I shut up. So they actually vent air out of their swim bladder, which is, the swim bladder is like a bubble that lives inside their gut, and that allows them to go up and down in the water column and remain neutrally buoyant. So that's a gurnard. Absolutely beautiful colours. You can see why they're called them the butterfly of the sea. They are absolutely stunning. And although they're really beautiful, they're also very tasty. So I'm going to put this guy over his misery, and that'll do us for dinner. So I'm just using these old pilchards, and with pilchards they're quite soft. So you just get a bit of cotton, bit of natural cotton, just wrap it around half a dozen times. It just helps it stay on a bit longer, especially when you're fishing sort of deep fish. You don't want to keep pulling your bait every 2 seconds to rebait. So it just lasts that bit longer. There you go. That burley's definitely working now. As soon as I get a bait down there, I'm getting something on. So, oh yeah, there's a little snapper. There we go. So that was the target species. That's what I came out here for. It's good to see they're out there. I think he's probably a bit under. That is a New Zealand snapper. Let's see if I can entice a bigger bite. The big old dirty head. Big old dirty pelly head. Okay. So I just got sick of the little fish biting me off. And I've just hooked in the St. Bag and I can't stop it. I'm hoping it's a snapper. I'm really hoping it's a big snapper. Just trying to get it off the bottom at the moment. Man, it went for a big run at the start. So all I did was I just chucked the whole pilly on, just cut the tail off. And this might just be the fish that I came for. Man, it's got some go to it, that's for sure. Man, it's got some weight. It might actually be a big shark. I'm hoping it's not a big shark. It's not actually fighting too much like a snapper, unless it's a donkey. Man. Oh, it's a big snapper. Yes! That's what I came for. Oh yeah, that is a nice fish, man. Yes, that is exactly what I came for, man. That is exactly what I came for. Late season, almost winter snapper. Man, I am shaking. I'm so excited right now. Woo! So I was just having little baits on because I thought there was a little fish down there. They just kept getting picked off. So I got sick of it, I was getting bored and getting hungry. I whacked the whole pilly through the head. And man, this guy just ate it. Sorry my language, I'll blur that out. Woo! I'm so happy with that fish, man. Well, at that, I think I'm going to call it at that, and I'm going to head back in because that's all I need, man. That's all I came for, and I'm super stoked with that. Okay, I'm going to clean up and head back in because that's all I need. I'm done for the day, for the morning. I don't know, it's probably only 10 o'clock, so pretty productive. Plan came together, set up a burly, wait, be patient, let the burly do the work, and oh man, it paid off. I'm so happy it paid off. Woo! Okay, so back in my place now. These guys have been sitting on ice for a few hours, so we're just going to whip the fillets off and clean them up a bit, maybe cook up some crumb fish and save the rest for tomorrow. So we're just going to cook up some of that snapper I caught the other day, cut it up. There's just breadcrumbs, salt, pepper and a tiny bit of garlic powder, hot oil, straight onto some sammies. Amira's actually allergic to eggs, so when we crumb our fish we just have a sprinkle of water to get a bit of moisture on there, and then the breadcrumb sticks to that rather than using egg as the adhesive. So yeah, that's how we do it. Just chuck the fish in there, give it a bit of a squeeze, and then boom, which is good to go in the pan. So we're just waiting for that to warm up a bit. And I don't have a fork to flip it, so this will be interesting. I just use this knife. Trick is with this is to do it in small pieces. So if the piece is too big, the breadcrumb burns by the time the fish is cooked. So size does matter. First one up for the kids, bit of sauce. Another batch going in. Second batch always turns out better. But it's got that, like, that garlic powder is key. Hey, just has that tiny little hint of garlic. Oh no, this is tricky. Give it a good squash. Oh, so good. Actually, waited all day for this. I'm trying to talk, but it's so hot and so good. Can't stop eating. Anyway, we're just going to chill out. Maybe catch a few colours in the sky for a bit of a sunset, have a feed, and then cruise home for the night. So yeah. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more. If you don't, then don't watch it. And we'll see you next time. See ya.